Our next session is going to be about India's soft power. What comes to mind when we talk about India's soft power? Many talk about yoga, Ayurveda. And ladies and gentlemen, it's also about an era that has been shaping global understanding. As Bharat emerges as a global leader, its socio-cultural soft power is taking center stage alongside its economic prowess. But what makes Bharat's story so compelling? The answer lies in the incredible diversity of its people, cultures, and experiences. And who better to bring these stories to life than our panel of visionary storytellers? Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming three masters of their craft. Mr. Suhel Seth, the founder and managing partner of Councilage India, who has been weaving compelling narratives for brands and individuals alike, requesting Mr. Seth to please come on stage. Mr. Prasoon Joshi, the poet, thinker and chairman and CEO of McCann World Group India, who has given voice to Bharat's aspirations through his words and work. And also, Shri Amitabh Kant, India's G20 Sherpa, former CEO, Niti Aayog, and key driver of Incredible India, Startup India, and Make in India. Together, they will explore the expanding landscape of Bharat's soft power and how storytelling is playing a vital role in shaping our nation's global identity. Ladies and gentlemen, let's now dive into the fascinating world of the Bharat Bulge, expanding India's soft power in conversation with Rahul Shiv Shankar. Let's have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, and it's the post-lunch session, and I can promise that the panelists will keep us awake. And I have the irrepressible Suhel Seth right next to me, and that's fraught with danger. Okay. Look, India is a cultural behemoth with a civilization that stretches back many millennia, and we are coming into our own. We're going to be ruling the world very soon. But to do that, some people say more than hard power now, you need soft power, and that is the soft power of the mind. So you need innovation to keep you ahead so that people look upon you as the place that inspires the world to do things that haven't been done before. So Suhel Seth, I've been looking at some of your comments recently, and you feel that maybe we need to do a lot more in the innovation mind space.
Every society needs to do a lot more. You need to do a lot more in terms of being punctual with panels starting on time. We need to do a lot. I need to do a lot more with losing weight. So the lot more to be done is work in progress. But let me say what I'm deeply proud of. I'm deeply proud that my civilizational legacy has begun to be recognized across the world for what I am and what my nation is and what we believe in. It is politically neutral. It is regardless of who's running the country. What I'm deeply proud of is that the young of today do not be guided by matrimonial columns which want them to be either civil servants or lawyers or doctors, but entrepreneurs, believers. Look, Rahul, any society that works towards a certain level of fruition is a society of dreamers. If you dream big, you will make it happen. There's an old saying that when you reach out for the stars, you'll at least grab a handful of mud. But if you don't reach out for the stars, you'll grab nothing. So let me tell you where India is today. I think we are in the finest position as a global superpower which has behaved with dignity, responsibility, and inclusion. I believe that every Indian today has been empowered more than ever before. I travel across the world more than most people do, and people across the world look at us differently. They look at us not only with admiration, they look at us with conviction. They look at this country with belief. They believe in what we say. They believe in what Narendra Modi says. They believe in what we are showing the world. And I must say this not because Amitabh is sitting here. It's people like Amitabh who changed the fortunes when they ran Incredible India. But today we're incredible not just as a destination, we're incredible as an investment destination. We're incredible as a people. We have brought back to India the root and the rootedness that we had forgotten because we were too busy aping the West. When societies return to their roots, they return to two things. They return to culture and they embrace the past with gratitude. We had forgotten our past with gratitude. We had forgotten to remember the legacy we had inherited. We have forgotten that we are brand custodians of a civilizational legacy. And I, as a citizen, as someone who's now going to be 62, in the twilight of my life, I can say that we are leaving behind a glorious India for our children and for our grandchildren. We are leaving behind a glorious India for people who want to do. And we are leaving behind an India that will conquer the world, not with arrogance, with humility. Not with an agenda, but with purpose. And an India that people will respect and revere, but never fear. That's the India I dream of, to paraphrase Rabindranath Tagore.
Wonderful. Mr. Kant, fundamentally, what Suhel Seth is saying is that we must dream big as people, but we also need enablers who allow for those dreams to reach a particular point. There has been conversation from government recently. We've had a minister, Piyush Goyal, who says that the people who are not dreaming about the right things. Some people have said it's the government that is not enabling those dreams. Where do you come in on this debate?
So Rahul, just a decade back, India was amongst the fragile five. Within the last decade, we've moved from being in the fragile five to the top five, and that's happened because we've carried out a lot of structural reforms in our economy, GST, IBC, RERA, etc. But we've done a lot of infrastructure work in India, a huge amount of infrastructure work. We've also, to my mind, truly digitized our economy in a very big way. And we've also pushed for about 200 gigawatt of renewable energy, which nobody else in the country has done. But India has done a lot of innovation in the last few years. You know, you look at fast payments, we do 50% of the fast payment in the world. China is next with just 20%. We are the only country which created an open source layer, open source, open API, globally interoperable layer on top of which private sector innovated. We are the only country where PhonePe competes with Google Pay, Paytm competes with Amazon Pay. Nowhere in the world does this happen. We are the only country which gives credit on payment history. And we are the only country where you can get today, you can do stock market transactions, so Zerodha, Grow, Upstock, all this is innovation. And we do insurance in 30 seconds. Go Digit, ACO, all insurance in 30 seconds. So we are doing fast payments, credit, we do stock market, we do insurance, all in 30 seconds to 1 minute. Tell me one other country which does this. No other country. So what innovation India has done, and look at what has happened with delivery, what Sarvam is doing in AI, what AI is doing in breast cancer. All this is cutting edge innovation in India, all by young startups in India. So India's startups have done path-breaking work in several areas, from logistics to electric mobility, now into many other areas of AI and breast cancer, learning outcomes, health outcomes, all this have been transformed by young people in India. So the extent of energy which India has demonstrated is unparalleled. We were just 156 startups in 2016. Today we have 161,000
Yeah, but we
startups,
also have
150 unicorns.
But don't we also have the highest failure rate in the world?
What failure rate?
95%.
Startups have to fail. And people like you must accept that there will be failures of startups. All parents, all mother, father, teachers must accept that in startups there will be failures. In America there's failure, in UK there's failure. Why will there not be failure?
Lesser percentage.
Of course there'll be failures. But startup is about failures, but one success will be more than any failure.
So this is what people say. You promised that you would not be in the business of government, but governance. You have the highest amount of regulations that have to be ticked off on a checklist before you can start a business. I'm not saying it, business people are saying it. You have the highest cost of capital in this country. How do you expect us to compete? How do you expect to dream?
So India jumped up 79 positions in the World Bank Ease of Doing Business. We removed a lot of rules, regulation, procedures, paperwork.
Not enough.
One second. Give me time. Now, Indians love to bash India. And especially, television media personalities love to bash India. But let me tell you, the way India has eliminated rules, regulation, procedures, paperwork, very few countries in the world have done. And let me also tell you, for startups, no factory law, no labor law is applicable to any startup in India. Now, this has to be a constant process. This has to be a constant process of evolution. And I think in this budget has announced a reform commission, and a lot of work is going on right now on this.
So he'll say, look, let's not gloss over some of the problems. Yes, we've done a lot, but there are problems. Look at the first legislation that was passed. It hasn't even been notified. The labor laws.
See, I'll be honest, I don't know enough about labor laws. So I won't comment, and I will never
You're taking
contradict.
the easy way out.
No, I'll tell you, I'll never contradict Amitabh Kant because I want to live in India. No, I'm just joking. But that apart, I want to raise two very critical points. Amitabh and you alluded to the young and equated the young with startup. Remember what Mukesh Ambani said at the launch of Jio, that Reliance is today in startup mode. What N. Chandrasekaran said at the launch of Tata Digital. What is gladdening my heart that even companies, behemoths, are encouraging their people, they are encouraging their colleagues to get into a startup mindset. Remember one thing, Winston Churchill called us a nation of shopkeepers. Today we are a nation of entrepreneurs. There will be obstacles. Remember, I come from Bengal. I used to joke that Bengal has a problem for every solution. Even Bengal is changing, whether people in Delhi may agree or not. Point I'm making is, give it time. We are too quick to judge. Go to America, Rahul. Try doing digital payments. You will lose all your hair, and you have a lot to lose. Try going to the United Kingdom and getting things done. Heathrow is a fourth world airport, not a third world. I'm proud of our airport infrastructure. I'm proud of the airlines we've created. I'm actually proud of what we are doing. The problem is we are a cynical bunch who hate everything except our own family. That has to change. We are now part of a larger world. We have to exercise influence without castigating ourselves. We need to look at countries. Israel is the size of Gurgaon. Look at Israel for innovation. See what they're doing. I'm saying India is in absorbing mode. India is in learning mode. We need to be proud. We need to be proud of the fact that India today is a force to reckon with, but we have to do it with humility. We have to do it with grace, as our Shastras said. It is with politeness that we must accept all honor.
Okay. Prasoon Joshi, let me bring you in. This has been heated as one expected, but I'm glad we've got some things out of the way.
I've not been heated at all.
No.
I'm the calmest person. I told you I've embraced Buddha. I'm like Zen. If you slap me, I'll give you 4 cheeks and a double chin.
Okay. Prasoon Joshi, what is India's most underrated soft power today? Is it culture, language, spirituality, democracy? Because democracy, as you know, many people have a view on it. Language, now people have a view on it. Spirituality also is a matter of contention. So what is it? What is this? Which is the most underrated, overrated soft power?
So I'll have to get the temperature down first. See, yes, I will surely. But where you're saying what is the strength of India?
Yeah.
Now, what we considered the weakness is our strength. You talked about we look at your family, our families. I think that I consider a strength. The fact that we are a collective civilization. See, this individualism and consumerism, all these words are out for scrutiny in today's world. You're talking about wellness, health, war, peace, a lot of things we are talking about today which is given to us by the earlier model of civilization. Somewhere वो थका हुआ लगता है मुझे आज. The model we have been following till now, it seems that everybody didn't get what they should get. The value system somewhere seems to be unanchored. We are looking for, today we are talking about AI and we are becoming completely dystopian about AI, that as if something wrong will happen because we don't trust our own selves. Now, Indian civilization is rooted in a larger truth. The civilizational governing principles are very different. We are not individualistic. When you talked about intelligence, now we never celebrated intelligent people. We celebrated intelligence. Intelligence is collective. Today, AI you are threatened by because you feel that from individual, localized intelligence, it will become very, very accessible to everyone. But we in oneness in this country always believed in intelligence, not intelligent person. So as a result, you see, somewhere what people can get from India, आज जब भारत बोलता है तो एक देश नहीं बोलता है, एक दिशा बोलती है, एक दिशा बोलती है, where the world should be going. When we say family, it gets expanded to Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, where Amitabh and we work together on this, and Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. Where does it come from? If we do not believe in basic family values, how would we consider the world as a family? Now that's where we are rooted in. When we talk about today's problems like man fighting with nature and sustainability and things like that, see, those things are very well sorted in Indian civilization. We never felt that nature is for human consumption. We never believe in that. We believe in Srishti. ये जो human first, human civilization, the word human is used so many times as if the whole world is created for us, and if we can't utilize it, अगर उसका भोग नहीं कर सकते, तो there is something wrong. And that is the reason today you are seeing man fighting with nature and you're seeing contradiction there. We don't have the contradiction. I was brought up in Uttarakhand. When I used to look at the river, I always saw someone first doing pranam to the river and then getting into the river.
But today,
so
sir,
the nature is not, sustainability is not an afterthought in Indian civilization.
But I'm sorry, but you look at the capital. Look at Yamuna River.
So that's why
This is the capital.
Now
What have we done?
Yeah, now comes what should be done today. See, I wrote a song in a film long back called Rubaru Roshni. You might have heard the song in Rang De Basanti. The words are, अभी अभी हुआ यकीन कि आग है मुझ में कहीं, अभी अभी हुआ यकीन कि आग है मुझ में कहीं, हुई सुबह मैं जल गया, सूरज को मैं निगल गया, रूबरू रोशनी. Where did it come from? अभी अभी हुआ यकीन कि आग है मुझ में कहीं, हुई सुबह मैं जल गया, सूरज को मैं निगल गया. Now this comes from Hanumanji. So biggest person who played role in Hanumanji's life is Jamwant. When, like everybody else, Hanumanji is also saying, how will I cross the sea? Then Jamwant comes and tells him, do you remember who you are? Do you know how blessed you are? Do you know what your strengths are? And then he reminds him that when you were a child, like playfulness, you swallowed the sun. That is how powerful you are. Somewhere we need our Jamwants today. हमें अपने जामवंत चाहिए, जो हमें हमारी भुजाओं पर यकीन कराएं, जो हमें याद दिलाएं कि ये सिविलाइजेशन है क्या, और आज हमारे हाथ मांगने के लिए नहीं, देने के लिए खुल रहे हैं. ऐसी सिविलाइजेशन हमारी है जिसकी याद कराना बहुत जरूरी.
We need a Jamwant, he says. Who would that be?
Oh, each one of us. I think each one has to become an ambassador for India's soft power. India cannot go without expand and grow. You know, look at our vision. What is the vision which has been set for Viksit Bharat? From 4 trillion to 30 trillion. And that means that your GDP has to grow 9 times, your per capita income has to grow 8 times, your manufacturing has to grow 16 times. You can't do all that without a very strong feel for your civilization, your culture,
So, on
your
that
inherent
point-
strength.
On that point, I will not let you go without giving us some amount of lyrics on what you said was Rising Bharat. Please, you have to.
Requested me.
After that, I want to say something. I mean, I may not be lyrical, but
You cannot be lyrical.
Okay. I was requested by, of course, your side that I should say something about Rising Bharat. तो Rising is उदय. ये भारत का उदय है. ये भारत का उदय है. उदय में एक लय है. ये भारत का उदय है. उदय में एक लय है. ये मस्तक गर्व का है. ये मस्तक गर्व का है. यहाँ ना कोई भय है. ये भारत का उदय है.
translated for those who don't know Hindi.
No. I mean, look.
So I think people do, and see, good thing about poetry is, of course, poets are never apologetic about the language they use, because this is civilizational. When I am, even if the words you don't understand, my energies should reach you, the intent should reach you. We are the country of various languages. You know, आपको कुछ होगा और मैं ये चाहता हूँ जो हो वो बस सच हो. बाकी, you know, this language is all politics.
Politics, absolutely.
लैंग्वेज में जब आदमी बोलता है तो इंसान सुनता है. मुझे इतना पता है. यहां बेचैन सपने नींद से जग रहे हैं. यहां बेचैन सपने नींद से जग रहे हैं. यहां बेताब अंकुर जमीन से उग रहे हैं. जो आप स्टार्टअप कहते हैं, ये उन्हीं के ऊपर मैं कह रहा हूं. यहां बेचैन सपने नींद से जग रहे हैं. यहां बेताब अंकुर जमीन से उग रहे हैं. यहां अब समय करवट ले रहा है, कह रहा है. यहां सीनों में सागर जोर से अब बह रहा है. हमारा लक्ष्य तय है. हमारा लक्ष्य तय है. ये भारत का उदय है. यहां हमको पता है सृष्टि क्या है. आई वॉज टॉकिंग अबाउट वी नो द ह्यूमन एंड क्रिएशन. यहां हमको पता है सृष्टि क्या है. यहां हमको खबर है दृष्टि क्या है. हमें आता है चलना प्रकृति को भी साथ लेकर. हमें आता है चलना प्रकृति को भी साथ लेकर. हमें आता संभलना साथ सारे हाथ लेकर. यहां सच्ची विजय है. ये भारत का उदय है. मैं एक अंतरा इसका मिस करता हूं, लास्ट पढ़ देता हूं क्योंकि आपके चेहरे पर एक मुझे व्यग्रता दिखाई दे रही. चलो एक बात तय करते हैं, अब दहाड़ बोलेंगे कि वी हैव टू रोर. चलो एक बात तय करते हैं, अब दहाड़ बोलेंगे. न अब सपनों की कोशिश को कभी जुगाड़ बोलेंगे. सपनों की कोशिश को कि भारत जुगाड़ू है ये नहीं बोलेंगे अब हम. कोई और देश अपने देश के प्रतिभाओं को जुगाड़ नहीं कहता है, उनको इनोवेशन कहता है. ये हमें करना पड़ेगा. चलो एक बात तय करते हैं, हम दहाड़ बोलेंगे. ना अब सपनों की कोशिश को कभी जुगाड़ बोलेंगे.
बहुत खूब.
ना अब बोलेंगे हमसे, ना अब बोलेंगे हमसे हो नहीं पाएगा देखो. ना अब बोलेंगे हमसे हो नहीं पाएगा देखो. खड़े मुश्किल के टीलों को ना पहाड़ बोलेंगे. तभी भारत की जय है. ये भारत का उदय है. उदय में एक लय है.
Beautiful. On that note, we're
one
completely
minute,
out
one
of
minute.
time.
You should add time for the speakers also, because I could have read from Shakespeare. No, but on a serious note, what he said is very true.
पर प्रसून ने जो भी बोला
I said,
मेरे दिल को छू गया है.
Gentlemen, we are out of time. I'm really sorry.
You
We're
see,
really
the
out
other
of time.
gentleman got 40 minutes.
We have
divided by only one person.
we have an important dignitary who's come all
He'll
the way
wait,
from
yeah.
Israel. All the way
Israelis love
Israel.
India. They will wait for a lifetime. Don't worry. But anyway,
it's been a wonderful afternoon. I'm sure you've all digested your lovely food. We leave it at that. Thank you very much for being a patient audience and a receptive one. Put your hands together.